Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat mga kabansa. Ito po si Ado Paglinawan ng Bumubugad sa pagbati ng ating sekretary dito sa Iparas Mo kay Paras.
Magandang hapon po. Dito na po kami uli sa ating programa Iparas kay Paras. Una sa lahat, magandang hapon po paring Ado. Magandang hapon naman sa ating mga kababayan na hanggang ngayon tuloy-tuloy ang pagbubudol nitong walang pusong administrasyon ni Marcos. Walang pag-intindi sa kalagayan ng taong bayan at walang tigil na panluloko sa bawat isang mamamayan ng ating bansa. Tulad nito, makikita natin po ngayon itong impeachment ni Ginang Sara Duterte, ang ating Vice Presidente. Dito po natin makikita ang dalawang naging presidente sa ating bansa. Dati si President Rodrigo Duterte at ito ngayon si Marcos. Tungkol sa kanilang pananaw sa paghain ng impeachment sa Vice Presidente. Nagkaroon tayo ng front view. Ika nga'y within the stage sa isang activity na tinatawag na impeachment. At yan ay nangyari noong panahon ni Duterte noong pinag-usapan kung mai-impeach ba si Vice President Leni Robredo. At dito naman ngayon, nasa front view din tayo sa tanong naman kung ano ang tingin ni Marcos sa impeachment ni Leni Robredo. Papakita po natin ang sinasabi ni Marcos tungkol sa impeachment ni Leni Robredo. Ito po, hindi muna natin i-discuss yan. Ito muna, pagpaliban natin, pero yun po ang main topic natin today. Pero dito muna tayo sa isang kabalbalan na ginawa dyan ng Malacanang. Involving the PCO or Presidential Communication Office na pinamunuhan nitong wishy-washy na tao na hindi niya mapalagay kung saan siya. Nung una, nandoon siya sa panahon ni Duterte, nandoon siya sa Department of Transportation. Tapos nag-resign kasi hindi niya nagustuhan.
Bilib na bilib sa sarili.
Masyadong mataas ang tingin niya sa sarili niya. At totoo, naguyo niya ang Malacanang, pati si Garapal ba yun? O Garapil? Si Garapal tinanggal at siya ang pinalit. Pero dito sa episode na ipapakita natin, napakasinungaling itong tao na ito. Napakasinungaling itong kumag na to na lulukuhin pa ang mga taong bayan. I'm talking about the inaugural of President Donald Trump, whereby heads of states that matters to the United States of America were invited. Gusto pang isingit nitong walang kauri-uri na tao, si sinungaling sa Pilipino, na imbitado daw si Marcos sa inaugurasyon. Ito po, pakinggan natin itong si Mr. Cesar Chavez.
Hindi dadalo si Pangulong Bongbong Marcos sa inaugurasyon ni US President-elect Donald Trump na nakatakdang ganapin ngayong Enero. Ayon sa kalihim ng Presidential Communications Office na si Secretary Cesar Chavez, ang mga inimbitahan lamang para sa naturang kaganapan ay ang mga Chief of Diplomatic Missions at ang kanilang mga asawa. Ito ay upang kumatawan sa kani-kanilang gobyerno at heads of state. Bunsod nito, ang dadalo sa inaugurasyon ay si Philippine Ambassador to the US, Jose Manuel Romualdez.
So, Napakasinungaling mo, Mr. Chavez. Sasabihin mo pa sa mga Pilipino na hindi naman mga bobo itong mga kababayan nating mga Pilipino na hindi dadalo si Marcos sa inaugural ni Trump. Naisip mo ba yung dinadaldal mo na word na hindi dadalo? The presumption there, Mr. Chavez, is that Marcos was invited and that he will not be able to attend.
Ini-spin ni Cesar Chavez.
Ini-spin mo. Sige, i-explain mo. Kasi magaling ka dyan sa mga to interpret lies made by media.
PR man at saka broadcast yan.
So, ibig sabihin, niloloko mo by merely saying na the fact na hindi siya dadalo, you always when you don't show up to an invitation or we don't show up to an event, maybe a wedding, or you don't show up to a wedding of your friend, you don't show up to a Christmas party or birthday party of a friend, the presumption is you are invited, but you are not able to attend. So in this particular case,
hindi lang presumption, the premise.
The presumption or premise or the premise is that you are invited.
Oo, naimbita ka.
Pero Chavez,
Chavez to naman yan. Chavez.
Kasama tayo sa Duterte administration, pero I don't know kung nag-resign ka ba o nasipa ka doon sa Department of Transportation, doon sa railway. Parang deputy yata siya ni, I don't know if
Dito gaani.
hindi, basta nagtrabaho siya sa LRT or something at nag-resign siya dahil yata niya kasundo yung parang boss niya doon. Wishy-washy ang ugali nito, at dito naman pinakita niya yung kanyang walang katapatan at lulukuhin mo ang mga Pilipino, pinapalabas mo na Marcos is somebody na iimbitahin ni Trump. Ngunit hindi lang siya makapunta. That's exactly your meaning of your statement. At Marcos was invited pero hindi siya makakapunta. At sasabihin mo pa dadalo si Marcos sa isang pulong kay Trump. Paano naman siya dadalo sa isang pulong kay Trump? Trump is not Biden. Trump means that he cares for people na maging kaibigan niya at matapat na mga tao. How can he invite this guy by the name of Marcos? We don't even know if Trump really talked to him when he congratulated Trump. Baka spin na naman ito ng PCO. Mga kababayan, anong masasabi mo?
Masasabi ko dyan, dahil wala na si Biden, lame duck na si Bongbong Marcos.
As far as relationship with the United States
is concerned, among other things.
And as far as China, because in this particular instance, sinasabi niya na practice daw na hindi nang iimbita ng head of state. Chavez, na sinungaling ka,
na naman.
Si Trump, hindi po practice yung hindi mag-imbita ng head of state. On the contrary, Trump invited Xi Jinping, because as far as the United States is concerned, China is an important part of the economy and the friendship that the United States has with its other countries, no? Marami pong inimbita, yung sa Argentina, sa El Salvador, inimbita. Sa Hungary, si Prime Minister Orban. Bakit po isisingit yung tatay mo dyan sa Malacanang na wala naman talagang imbitasyon. Pero i-spin mo, pinapalabas mo na hindi ugali or hindi practice ng inaugural sa Amerika na mang-iimbita ng head of state. Napaka sinungaling mo. Huwag mo namang lukuhin kasi mas matalino ang taong bayan kaysa iyo. So, nahuhuli ka patuloy at dagdagan mo pa ng kung ano-anong mga salita like making it appear na itong ambassador sa Amerika na Romualdez
Will represent.
na kumag na tinatakot yung mga Pilipino na magbalot-balot na will represent daw the diplomatic corps of the Philippines. Kasi daw, yun lang naman daw ang practice kung may inaugural ng pag-install ng president ng Amerika. That's a big lie.
The standard operating procedure dyan.
Okay, ikaw explain kasi you were in the foreign service.
I was with the Foreign Service in Washington, D.C. I was
Okay.
in the blue list.
Yes.
Of diplomats.
You try to lecture on this guy Chavez kasi announcer lang naman ito dati. I mean,
lumaking pakpak eh.
Lumaking pakpak. Pero okay lang naman, wala naman tayong away sa kanya, wala naman tayong personal na ano sa kanya. Pero
it does not stop
hindi
the president.
maganda na magsinungaling ka, lalo na ang mga Pilipino ay matalino. Nahuhuli tuloy yung kasinungalingan mo or yung spin mo. Sige, paring Ado, ituloy
It
mo.
does not stop the president from inviting. There is no law. There is nothing against that. It is not a bad practice. In fact, it's a sign of hospitality. It is an expression of friendship at this time when the United States need friends outside of the U.S.
And para ipalabas niya kasi, ang kanya kasi ditong na since hindi pinansin yung kanyang amo, hindi man lang pinadala ng katiting na ano man lang greeting or whatever, pinapalabas niya na tulad ng mga ibang head of state ay hindi daw nag-imbita ang Amerika ng head of state.
Grinit ba ni Trump si Bongbong nung ma-elect si Bongbong? Pero
Hindi.
si Bongbong, grinit si Trump.
But as to whether Trump answered it or just an underling who
Baka si Chavez na naman at si Babe Romualdez na nag-excellent dyan.
wala talagang peho na news item that Trump even bothered to talk for Marcos for 1 second. Spin lang nila yan that Bongbong upon the announcement of victory of Trump ay tumawag at nag-congratulate. Pero there is no news item which says that Trump answered it and uttered a certain thank you or something to that effect.
At ang isa pang ina-assume nila rito ay bobo si Trump na hindi alam na itong si Marcos at si Biden ang nagpasama ng Philippine-American relationship.
At magkasabwat.
Magkasabwat sa...
At hinihimok ang China.
Oo. Kaibigan ni Trump si Jinping. Naloko na sila.
So, yun lang po. Nothing personal. Pero, ang nire-raise lang natin ang issue dito sa Malacanang, dyan sa isang ex-Chief Justice na sinungaling din.
Bata daw niya si Chavez eh.
Bata pala niya. So,
daw niya.
birds of the same feather flock together. Tapos, ang inaano natin ay huwag tayong magsinungaling sa publiko dahil mahuhuli tayo. Lalo lang pinasama nyo yung amo nyo. Sa pagsisip-sip nyo sa amo nyo, na walang kamalay-malay, you are just destroying more his reputation and integrity. Yun po ang pinaparating lang namin dyan sa mga operative dyan sa Snake Pit, Malacanang, mga kababayan. And going back to what I earlier stated,
Introduction.
when I said that this is an important matter, when you compare both head of state, one an ex-president, the one a present president, when they deal with their underlings, specifically in this particular case, the vice president of the country, how presidents deal with their tandem or with their next in line official. Ito po, pakita natin itong reaksyon ni Marcos tungkol sa impeachment ng kanyang vice presidente. Ito, pakinggan natin.
Well, it was actually private communication, but nalik na, yes. Because that's really my opinion. This is not important. This does not make any difference to even one single Filipino life. So why waste time on this? What will happen to if somebody files an impeachment? It will tie down the House, it will tie down the Senate, it will just take up all the time, and for what? For nothing. For nothing. None of this will help improve a single Filipino life. As far as I'm concerned, it's a storm in a teacup.
Sir, have you reached the point of no return? You and VP Sara, sir?
Never say never.
See? Yun ang reaksyon niya. Pero tingnan natin para ilatag natin ang event dito. Unang-una, hindi pa ito naging public. Pero mayroon sigurong chismoso ng mga congressmen because he admitted na private conversation. So, ang alam natin, nagtitext siya sa mga members of the House. And most of these members, in fact, if not even all of these members, kakilala ni Marcos dahil nagbibisita sa Malacanang. So, kung nagtitext siya at sinasabi niya, wag niyong i-impeach kasi it's a storm in the teacup, no Filipino lives will be improved, it will be divisive. Halimbawa, nakatanggap ako, congressman ako, galing sa presidente. Anong aksyon mo, pare? Siyempre, re-respetuhin mo. Kung talagang naniniwala ka sa liderato at binabalyo mo yung speaker mo ay bata-bata ni Pangulong Marcos at hindi naman magiging speaker yan kung walang basbas at ikaw ay sumasamba at tumitingala doon sa speaker mo, anong reaction mo kung makatanggap ka ng
Una, magugulat ako. Pangalawa, masisindak ako.
Hindi, ang gagawin mo dyan, susundin mo. Hindi ka na masisindak dahil this open comes as a matter of course that your president communicates with you directly. Dahil ikaw din, sumisip-sip ka rin sa kanya. May mga hiningi kang mga programa, may mga... So, you maintain a certain rapport with your boss, which is the president. So, anong reaction mo pag natanggap mo yan? Yes, boss. Hindi po namin gagawin yan. Pero what happens, mga kababayan? Nakatanggap itong mga congressmen ng personal appeal ni Marcos na wag mag... Pero what happened? Sinunod ba siya? Tinuloy ba nila yung impeachment? Tinuloy. May nag-i-endorse. In fact, the Secretary General na kaibigan ko has admitted to the fact na hinihikayat nila ang mga taong bayan na mag-file. Meron ng isa. Ordinarily, under the rules, dapat in-endorse na yan. Doon sa Committee on Rules para maano sa Committee on Justice, or it's already endorsed to the Speaker who is the head of the House of Representatives. Pero hindi. So ibig sabihin, mga congressmen, in fact, a lot of them were interviewed. None of them was very precise na, susundin namin si Marcos. Mayroon ka bang narinig na interview ng isang member ng House na sasabihin, no, we follow the request of the President. We follow the appeal of the President. None. Pero ito, tingnan mo itong tunay na Pangulo. Tingnan mo itong may bayag na Pangulo. Tingnan mo itong Pangulo na nirerespeto ng mga miyembro ng Congress noong siya ay naging Pangulo. Tingnan mo, as compared to this Marcos, ano siya? Anong tawag mo?
Lame duck.
Lame duck. At what is he?
Bangag.
Bangag.
Lame duck, bangag.
Lame duck, bangag pa. Sabi ni Alo,
Sir, may nagsampa na po ng impeachment complaint against Vice President Leni Robredo.
I won't.
Do you think, sir, may basehan po para ma-impeach nga po siya? What are your thoughts po?
Look, we just had an election. Guys, lay off. Let's stop it. Can do other things, but do not tinker with the structure of government. I will not countenance it. Elected yung tao. So, why do you have to sit just because he keeps on harping on me? Yeah, this is democracy. It's freedom of speech. Wala naman, there is no overt acts committed. Kakatapos lang ng eleksyon, bakit mo sirain bayan? Okay, malay mo ako, baka hindi na ako magising bukas sa bangungot, okay na. Siya naman, pero you create trouble na po. Ayaw yung military kasi ayaw nila hindi naman tamad, pero bakit mo dagdagan yung problema nila? Pati police. Who will keep order in this country kundi sila. Ngayon magsabi lang, hindi lang natin magsabi lang, mga to gusto ng gulo. Gusto talaga ng basagan ng ulo. Maganda na nga ang buhay kakatapos lang ng eleksyon. This is a democracy. Leaders are elected. If there are to be a son of a it's still the people's choice. Remember that.
So, tingnan mo napaka-precise. Hindi palikoy-likoy na, storm in the teacup. Stop it! Sabi ni Duterte. Sir, is there any contemplation of Leni Robredo's impeachment? Kasi may mga umuugong-ugong din yung mga gusto rin magsipsip kay Pangulong Duterte noon. Stop it! Katatapos lang ng eleksyon, guguluhin niyo ang bansa. So, okay, ang tanong ngayon, after he spoke about his reaction on the impeachment of Leni Robredo, may isa bang nag-attempt, mga kababayan? Was there any member of the House or any private person that attempted to file an impeachment against Leni Robredo? Wala po tayo nananarinig, because they respected the wisdom of President Duterte. They respected his authority, and the members of the House respects his stature and influence as member as president of the country. Paring Ado.
You call that moral ascendancy.
May moral ascendancy siya. Pero tingnan mo itong Marcos Jr. Personally, ito, in-announce ni Marcos in a public interview. Si Marcos, tinitext pa ang bawat congressman na wag niyang impeachment is a storm in the teacup. Pero may congressman ba na sumusunod? Unless Marcos was lying to his teeth. Unless Marcos was making a moro-moro test messages na wala naman talaga siyang intent to tell the congressman na wag niyong gawin yan. Kasi this guy is so fond of making statements which he doesn't mean after all. So, yun lang po ang
Ang tawag doon, duplicitous.
duplicity or duplicitus. Ha? You say this,
Diba ang ginagawa?
this is not the first time. This has been happening so many times. Like in the case of Subiri, when he told Marcos na, Sir, there's an attempt to amend the Constitution through this People's Initiative. Sabi ni Marcos, oh no, we will not allow that. Pero ano na pala? May usapan na pala sila pailalim doon sa kanyang kausap sa House of Representatives. Oh. Napaka double face itong tao na ito. Double cara. Ha? Double tuwalya. So, yun po ang mandate nito. Now, talking of
Nagiging, ang panluloko, nagiging pattern tuloy.
Nagiging pattern tuloy. At saka, he is surrounded by people called mandurugas. People with criminal mind. Can you imagine, we got hold of this letter from the U.S. Embassy. Thanks to Claire Castro. I'd like to thank Claire Castro for letting the people know about this, and we got hold of a copy of what Claire Castro discussed as an official letter from the U.S. Embassy, telling the whole Filipino people na, hoy mga Pilipino, boboto ba kayo dyan? Ginagawa nyo pang daw, number 1 daw sa survey for the senatorial election. A certain person who has duplicity also, alias, gumagawa ng alias sa Amerika, tapos pagdating dito, ang yabang-yabang pa, binumura yung mga generals, tapos ngayon, nakalusot, hindi siya nakalusot sa Commission on Appointments, pero napalusutan pa rin ang Commission on Election. At ngayon, papalusutan uli. When in fact, ikaw ba paring Ado, what do you think of a person who lie about his birth, lie about his country of birth, just because of his capriciousness to live in America or to be considered as Americano, when in truth and in fact is really Filipino. Okay, mga kababayan, I'm talking about this guy by the name of Erwin Tulfo. Nothing personal. But kailangan bawat Pilipino malaman ito na itong si Tulfo, base dito sa letter ng US Embassy addressed to him, kasi noong ma-appoint na siya, supposed to be as Secretary of the DSWD, saka lang niya naisip na dadaan siya sa Commission on Appointments. And alam mo, when you hold a cabinet position or a position in government, you must be a Filipino citizen.
Natural-born Filipino citizen.
Natural-born, maybe, but at least a Filipino citizen. But at the time he contemplated on this, he was holding an American passport. What is the implication when you hold an American passport?
That you are a U.S. citizen.
That you are a U.S. citizen. Whether you acquire the U.S. citizen by birth or you acquire it by naturalization, you are an American citizen. And for you to be an American citizen and becoming a member of the cabinet and to say more about it, to become a candidate for public for a position as public official, ay kailangan Filipino citizen. Lalo na ngayon, if you run for Congress and the Senate, Vice President and President, you must be a natural-born Filipino citizen. But in this particular case, itong si Tulfo, hindi po galing sa amin ito, galing sa US Embassy, at mayroon siyang pirma na tinanggap niya yung letter ng US Embassy telling him na, okay, kinancel namin yung American passport mo. Is an authentic piece of document. But doon po sa dokumento, nakalagay po yung historical antecedent.
The cancellation
Why Tulfo is really considered an American citizen. And therefore, he was lying to the Filipino when he wanted to become a secretary of the SWD. He wanted to, or he now became a member of Congress, and now he wants to become a senator. Ito po, basahin natin po yung letter ng US Embassy. This is a letter from the US Embassy addressed to Eric Sylvester Tulfo, also known as Erwin de Shiba Tulfo, whose address is number 52 Madison Loop, Montgomery Place, E. Rodriguez, Quezon City, Philippines. Dear Mr. Eric Sylvester Tulfo, the Department of State has revoked U.S. U.S. passport number 566701788 issued to you in the name of Erich Sylvester Tulfo on August 6, 2021, along with any other valid U.S. passports issued to you pursuant to 22 CFR 5162. That is a provision of law in one of the regulations of the United States, which provides that a U.S. passport may be revoked when it has been determined that the passport was obtained illegally. Doon pa lang, the passport was obtained illegally. Fraudulently. Dito pare, kinuha mo yung passport mo illegally, fraudulently, and erroneously. The regulations cited in this letter may be found at http www.ecfr.gov. Department records show, ito importanteng malaman ng mga Pilipino kung gaano kamandurugas itong tao na pinagsasabihan natin dito. Department records show that you initially executed a U.S. passport application on 1991. Pare, 1991 pa.
Wow.
He must have been a very young man, in which you were issued U.S. passport number 700-090-711 on May 24, 1991. Subsequently, on October 19, 2001, you submitted a U.S. passport renewal application and were issued again. Tapos, as a result, you were issued a U.S. passport again in number 483-310 on August 5, 2021. So, 1991, 2011, at umulit pa siya uli noong issued on August 6, 2021. Tatlong beses nag-apply ng US passport.
At binigyan.
At yan, sa puso at diwa mo ba, pare, Erwin Tulfo, naniniwala po ba kayo na Filipino citizen kayo? Or nasa isip at diwa at sa puso mo na ikaw ay isang Amerikano at talagang dinidenounce mo yung pagka-Pilipino mo kasi gumamit ka ng US passport. Ano bang implication ng gagamit ka ng passport ng ibang bansa? na
US citizen ka.
tinitingnan mo na ikaw ay isang Amerikano at nakinabang ka sa bansa na Amerika. Dininounce mo ang pagka-Pilipino mo kasi nakinabang ka sa Amerika. Hindi tulad ng mga ibang Pilipino na talagang nag-strive, nag-apply ng mga visa at eventually, dahil sa perseverance sila, nagiging Amerikano sila through the issuance of green card. Pero dito pare, lumalabas na nangluloko siya kasi ang ginawa niya ay gumawa siya ng kabulastugan na pinapalabas niya ay siya pinanganak sa Amerika, sa Hawaii. Ito, an investigation revealed that Eric Sylvester Tulfo, born on December 30, 1965 in Hawaii, is not your true identity. Pero, nung nag-apply siya ng passport, pinalabas niya na siya ay under the jus soli rule of the United States. When your place of birth is America, you are automatically a citizen of the United States. Unlike here in the Philippines where we use sanguine, meaning by blood, you can, even if you were born in the Philippines, but you are of foreign blood, you will remain a citizen of that country where your forebears belong, or kung anong blood ng naging tatay at nanay mo. Pero dito po, basahin natin uli, on December 30, 1966 in Hawaii, is not your true identity. Actually, siya ang nagsabi nito. Kasi nung in-applyan na niya na ma-revoke yung passport niya, sinabi na ngayon niya yung totoo. Na ginuyo niya ang Amerika, ginuyo niya ang mga tao ng Amerika, pinakinabangan niya ang bansa ng Amerika for 30 years, pare. Kasi 3 beses 2001, 2011, 2021, he used American passports. Ito ba, pare, is this conscionable? Ito ba ay matatanggap ng bawat Pilipino na sinusurvey? Gusto niyo bang maging senador si Tulfo? Kung alam ng lahat ng Pilipino na siya pala ay nagsinungaling sa Amerika at nagpapanggap na doon siya pinanganak, tapos nung gusto na niyang itapon yung pakinabang niya sa Amerika dahil makinabang na naman siya sa Pilipino, kawawa naman tayo ang bansa. So, mga kababayan, mga bawat Pilipino ay dapat makialam dito. Ito po ay ang laking kahulugan sa ating bansa kasi po ito ay maghalal ng isang tao at uupo dyan sa Senado kasi number 1 nga, sigurado mananalo dahil ginagawa niyong number 1 siya sa survey. Kayong mga bawat Pilipino, pag tinatanong kayo, Tulfo, pero hindi nyo tiningnan ang pagkatao ng tinatanong sa inyo na bubutuhan nyo ba o hindi. Ngayon, bilang isang citizen, ako at saka si Ado, it is our duty to let everyone know what this guy did to our country, what this guy did to the United States of America. Na niloko niya ang mga Amerikano, ngayon lulukuhin naman niya ang mga Pilipino. Yun po, mga kababayan.
Ito an investigation revealed that Eric Sylvester Tulfo, born etc. in Hawaii, is not your true identity. Hindi pa tapos tong issue nito. Sino ang ninakawan niya ng identity, o kung siya itong si Eric Sylvester Eh bakit siya nagmamalinis ngayon? Because revocation of a passport does not necessarily mean a revocation of citizenship.
Yes.
Gagawin na naman niya ito.
Mayroon ngang technicality. Ipakita natin muna uli yun, pare. Ayan, ito yung letter galing sa embassy. Sinabi sa kanya, okay, in-approve namin yung revocation ng passport mo at visa. So, hindi ka na Amerikano. Hindi ka rin Pilipino eh. Stateless citizen ka, pare. Ha? Kasi hindi mo pa na-approval. I mean, dapat ang COMELEC, ang Kongreso, should investigate this because
fraud yan eh.
this is fraud and
the highest degree.
And you are running and you are acting you are holding a position where it delves with citizenship.
Very basic.
Paano ngayon masasabi? Ikaw ba, basta-basta ka lang sasabihin mo ay hindi po totoo yung born ako sa Hawaii. Born ako sa Pilipino. Ang tanong ngayon, totoo ba na born ka sa Philippines? Hindi ka born sa Hawaii? Mayroon bang nagtatanong dyan sa Kongreso? At ngayon sa COMELEC tungkol dyan sa...
Paano ka nagkaroon ng Filipino identity?
When you have told the Americans and you have lived in the United States,
baka ano ito? Ang defense dito sa korte, alam ko na kung ano. Foundling.
Wag ka foundling. Kagaya nung isang...
si Grace po. Si Grace Foundling.
So, yun po mga kababayan. At ito po ay pakita mo nga uli para ma-authenticate natin ito. Ayan pirma ni Tulfo.
At saka may
ni-receive niya yung passport niya, yung visa niya, yung approval ng kanyang revocation of his American citizenship, yung passport, revocation of his passport. Ayan, may pirma ng American Embassy at saka mga officials ng American Embassy. So, this means that this letter, which was revealed by Claire Castro, and thanks to her, is an authentic document. And that this reveals the fact, hindi naman siguro niya pwedeng i-deny ito kasi ito yung ginamit niya na kasangkalan or ito yung ginamit niya na dokumento when he was asked to face the Commission on Appointment. At in fact, the Commission on Appointment did not approve his nomination to become the Secretary of the SWD on the same basis that kaya lang humingi siya ng executive session. This must be revealed. The members of Congress who were members of the Commission on Appointment should reveal this. Kasi he's running for the Senate. Dapat ipaalam sa mga Pilipino kung ano ang sinabi niya doon. Ano na naman kasinungalingan na ni-reveal niya sa Commission on Appointment.
They must declassify the records.
So ganito po ang
otherwise they are complicit.
Ang obligasyon ng bawat Pilipino na susuriin yung sino yung tatakbo na senador. Lalo na nagoyo ang Pilipino, ginawa pang number 1 in the survey. So, paano po yan mga kababayan? Ako, nating personal on this, ang atin lang ay it's our obligation as a Filipino citizen that sooner or later, which will come eventually, manalo man yan sa Senado, hindi tayo nagpabaya. Sinabi natin sa bawat Pilipino na ganito yan. Nagpanggap yan ng Amerikano at nakinabang sa Amerika for so many years kasi renew ng passport. renew siya ng kanyang
Passport.
passport as American citizen. Can you imagine 30 years of his life? How old is he now? Maybe he's in his 50s.
65.
65?
65 siya pinanganak eh.
Hindi, nandyan, sinabi niya, 67 eh.
Iba na naman.
Yung totoo niyang pinanganak siya sa Leyte, ibang date yan sa 65.
Iba na naman ang level ng pagsisinungaling.
Oo nga. So, he must be in his, can you imagine, more than half of your life, you live as an American. So, ano bang legal implications nito? Dapat pag-aralan ito ng mabuti.
Amerikano siya nung nakahanap niya si Richard Gomez sa hearing. I'm swearing.
Amerikano naman talaga ang salita nito eh. Ha? So, ito, alam ko rin, nung hinimok nila si Jose Pidal, I remember, na nagkaroon din ng problema ito nung panahon na yan. Pero, yun 30 years of your life, you live as an American. So, how can you have maintained loyalty to our country as Filipino when you live as an American for so many years? You have imbibed, even your twang is American. You have lived the life of an American. And what happens kung manalo ka naging senador? Ano ang loyalty mo? Amerikano o Pilipino? Yun po ang question dito. This is just,
especially at the time,
this is just a beginning of this saga. Bilang isang Pilipino, ako, si Ado, hindi po natin titigilan itong issue na to kasi malay natin magkaroon tayo ng senador na ang loyalty ay nasa Amerika, hindi sa Pilipinas.
Especially at the time when Philippine foreign policy is being discussed and our relationship with the United States.
Yes, malaking implication ito.
Malaking implication nito.
Malay nito, magiging, gusto niyang talunin yung kapatid niya na may ambisyon pagka kandidato pagka-presidente, itong Rapi Tulfo. Kaya nga niya gustong magiging senador din. Kasi ito, ambisyoso ito eh. Gusto din maging presidente. So, can we have a president in the future who is favoring America, whose heart and mind is American and not a Filipino? Yun po ang tanong natin.
Or baka sa 2028 maging Tulfo for president, Tulfo for vice president.
Yes.
Huwag kalimutan mag-subscribe.
At saka Tulfo for Senate President. Tatlo sila eh.
Isa pa.
So, alam mo mga kababayan, alam ko karamihan sa mga Pilipino natin, nakapikit mata lang, pipirma. Alam natin, basta narinig lang yung pangalan, sasang-ayon. Pero hindi nyo tinitingnan yung pagkatao ng taong sinusubo sa inyo. So sana magkaroon man lang tayo ng bawat isang Pilipino, magkakaroon man lang tayo ng pagtingin sa mga kandidato natin. Usisahin natin isa-isa. Yung isang artista niyan, pabalik-balik na lamang. Ngayon, tatakbo uli. Sabi ni Kausing, involved daw doon sa Pogo sa Pampanga. Mayroon dyan ganito. Mayroon dyan ganito. Kung manalo yan, anong klaseng Senado? Kaya nga, maraming mga tao na gusto na ipa-abolish yung Senate na yan. Tingin ko nga, ang Congress doon sa People's Initiative, gusto na nilang sipain yung mga senador na yan. Kaya galit na galit sila doon sa People's Initiative na inumpisahan daw ni Martin Romualdez at yung mga congressmen. Why? Because the Senate itself is not doing its work. Oh. Ultimo, si Amy Marcos, sinisiraan niya yung, hindi naman sinisiraan, nire-reveal niya yung mga ugali ng mga senador. Basta makakita ng 26 billion na akap, 25 billion sa kanila. Nakalimutan na yung obligasyon nila sa taong bayan. Yun po, mga kababayan, that is why we need to scrutinize every candidate in this coming election. Anong parting words mo, paring Ado?
Huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe dito sa Iparas kay Paras at i-click ang notification bell at mag-subscribe na rin sa YouTube channel ko at Ado Paglinawan. Ayan po,
Magandang
Iparas
hapon
kay
po.
Paras.